Hey everybody, I am Britt Mobley. I am currently a senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am the executive president of the Student Government Association here at Elon. To our organization, it really is making sure that we're representing the student body, right? Student government is the main representation of the student body to the senior staff and other departments across campus. And so a really huge part of inclusive excellence is saying, how can we make sure that we collect all of the voices that are across our campus, whether that's in a religious context, in a race context, or even just an experience context, right? We often forget about our international students in student government, right? And talking about how do we incorporate them into our community, right? How do we make sure that their voices are heard as well? Because there are different challenges that come with different experiences that are wide and far across Elon. So how can we make sure that we're getting a different perspective and different voices from all across all aspects of campus, that we're making sure we're portraying the right picture? The composition of our Senate. And so our student Senate. And so one role that I have as the executive president is appointing students to be voting members and really be advocates for different sectors across campus, whether that be class senators who represent each academic class, or from the academic schools. And so one thing that I've really been taking a look at is that one of the groups that really aren't being involved, right? And so for Elon, a part that has been males and also person of color, right? And so really is great when I can get like that kind of combination a little bit. But then, a huge part is saying, okay, as I'm looking at this, okay, who's involved and who do I kind of give, not necessarily priority to, but who am I really trying to say, okay, let's get this voice in for the sake of, their voice and their opinion, because I know that they have a different experience. And so taking a look at that, but then also, again, international students, transfer students is a really huge one. We have one of our first transfer students who's been able to join SGA this past fall, right? And they were super excited and said that they wanted to join and really bring that new perspective in. And so those are really kind of the groups that we take a look at. But then also on the advocacy side, we work very closely with the Division of Inclusive Excellence, really taking a look at student experience and student well-being, right? We were huge in terms of creating a new bias system and voicing concerns around that. Then also making sure that the students felt as though there was a place where they belong. It's collective effort, right? And that all of us have to be behind the mission of bringing inclusive excellence within our organization, but also influencing that to other clubs and organizations across campus. And so for us, we have the committee is called SIC, the Student Inclusive Campus Committee. And so that committee is designed internally for us to take a look at one of these events that we should be going to, right? Whether it's events put on by the CREED, GLC, El Centro, GEC, right? And taking a look at those identity groups and saying, how can we make sure that folks understand those different experiences, right? And are able to talk to students who may have a different opinion than them. But then the other part is also saying, meeting with those identity groups and saying, hey, what are some things that you'd like to see within your time in Elon? And if we can make that happen, let's do it. And let's figure out a way to push that forward and move that up on the priorities list. Well-being and belonging. Those two kind of go hand in hand, especially this year, since Elon has really put a huge emphasis on mentoring. And so for us, we really tried to make sure that folks see themselves within the mentors that they have to choose, but also saying, okay, how can we make sure that actually we take the mentoring programs that are happening within minoritized groups and expand that to everybody, right? So, for example, the Smart Mentoring Program, which is really just celebrated their 30th year here at Elon's campus. That's a huge one that we've been taking and saying, okay, let's take a look at this and see how students have been able to be successful and kind of expand that into a lot of different other programs. I'm a part of the Odyssey program. We have a really strong mentoring base there in Odyssey. And so, again, how do we take that and really make sure that other students are able to get that in their everyday experience at Elon, no matter what background they come from? And so that part of well-being and belonging go hand in hand, because if you're able to belong, then you feel good about where you're at. You feel good about the community that you're in. And you're more inclined to not only be productive part of that community, but also give back to that community in a very positive way. And so that has really been kind of a hand-in-hand or a tandem moment for us in student government, saying, okay, how can we be productive and how can we take a look and give our feedback in that area? I think for folks to be able to join SGA, there's a couple benefits, right? I think the biggest one, or there's two. The biggest one is being able to serve your community, right, in a very tangible way, right? A lot of things that folks see across campus were actually either funded or advocated for by student government, right? I as student government president, I meet with senior staff almost every other week. And so it's one of those where those concerns are easily elevated to folks who can really have and make some really fast changes on Elon's campus. But I think the second one is being able to actually do it yourself, right? And say, you know what, I did that, right? We pass legislation all the time and saying, okay, here's an issue that I want to tackle, and let's get behind it and really move some motion behind it and get it done, right? You see, for example, the outdoor fitness court over across from the East Neighborhood Commons. That was something that a senator said that they wanted on campus that would be a part of this Healthy U program before it was called Healthy U, and we were able to pass it and put the $50,000 towards that, right? The outdoor spaces across campus, the hammock stands, the fire pits, the Adirondack chairs, all of that was done by student government because someone said, I think this would make our campus more beautiful, or I think this would allow us to honestly be outside during COVID, right? And that was something that really allowed for folks to say, you know what, I was able to do some work and I have something to show for it. But then there's also something you don't show, right? For example, there was a light out going towards Mill Point, and we worked with the Vice President of Finance, Ms. Janet Williams, to call Duke Energy and to get that light fixed so that students felt safe while they're walking home to Mill Point, right? That's not something we passed, but it's still something that we advocated for, right? And so there's lots of little things that you never really know who was really behind it, but we really are able to make a positive impact on campus. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Future Phoenix. Please be on the lookout for the next couple episodes and learn more about how inclusive excellence is integrated into Elon's campus. See you later.